Welcome to Inside Humboldt Basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy here on Viking News on Demand, and we appreciate you being a part of the program tonight on this Monday night. And, Coach, another undefeated district week. That's what we want, ain't it?
Oh, yes, it is. I'm not complaining at all.
That's right. Oh, my. You started out on Tuesday night last week with Halls coming to town, and Halls played you hard the first time. And, you came back, and I remember us having talks off air about, Halls has a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they have a pretty good basketball team. They have the big guy in the middle who's real good, and he plays hard, and, he offers challenges to us as far as defensively trying to stop him, and I think they're a pretty good team.
Yeah, so you ended up coming out victorious in that game. I'm trying to pull up those stats here because junior high played Halls as well. I got to make sure I pull the right one. 60-42, your victory there, and seemed like first and second quarter was pretty good. Third quarter we hit a little slump there. We only scored 8 points in that third quarter. What do you think caused that?
Just sleeping, sleepwalking, not doing what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And, of course, we were trying to sub a little bit more than we normally do.
Sure.
Trying to get some other players playing time, and, of course, that always drops the productivity.
Yeah.
And, that was a little bit of it during the third quarter.
And then that fourth quarter, best quarter of the night, 22 points. You had Kendrick Taylor doing what he always does, Jeffrey Patterson same, Elijah Moore, Tobias Bell, all four of those players playing very well. Kendrick, again, he is having an exceptional year. I mean, he led the team in scoring with 25 points, really coming to his own at the right time, isn't he?
Right. He's doing a good job. He as the coaches always say, Kendrick gets more shots than anybody on our team.
Yeah.
And he seems to be in that place where he gets the ball and he's open and he gets a lot of shots.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of opportunities to score.
Now, I think this was the game I'm looking here. Nope, it must have been a different game. I was looking. There was one game he got into a little bit of foul trouble, and it must have been the Friday night game, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Free throw shooting, though, 53%. That kind of continues to be what's plaguing this team.
Right, and we have to do better as we move into the championship realm and getting prepared for the district. We have got to shoot free throws better.
Yes, sir. 60-42 victory, and then you come back on Friday night and you host Clarksburg. And Clarksburg was here on homecoming night. And I know as a coach that stuff, it can drive you crazy because there's a whole lot of extra stuff going on. And then we also need to mention Jeffrey Patterson as well. So Tobias Bell, one of your basketball players, crowned king, homecoming king. Homecoming queen was Kamaria Bryson on the girls' side with lady basketball as well. And let's see. And then Jeffrey Patterson, that 1,000-point ball, all of that was before the game. Before the game,
and it drives me crazy because it takes our players and their emotions all over the place.
Yeah.
And, of course, the basketball players were the escorts for the court also.
Right.
So usually if you got one or two, you can kind of control it. But when you got 7 or 8, it's like, oh, wow, do we have to do this tonight?
Yeah.
But we did, and there was a lot going on, and it was real busy. But it ended up being a great night.
That's right. And let's talk about that because you got your pregame rituals that you do with this team. So how does homecoming change that? Because it obviously is going to pull them out.
Well, it kind of messes with us a little bit because we do pregame warm-ups, pregame agility and strength exercises. So we do those in a timely fashion, and we do that on our time schedule. But then you come down back to the gym, and you wait double time compared to what you do normally.
Yeah.
Where the wait may be 15 minutes on the night. On homecoming night, it's 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, and that really throws your rhythm off. You lose all the agility and the strength that you used to warm up with. It's gone. Mm-hmm. So you kind of start all over again. And then you start all over again, but not the same capacity and the same level that you started out with the first time.
And you kind of see that in the first quarter of this game where you're playing Clarksburg and we only score 14 points to start the quarter. And, to be up 14 to 9 at the end of the first quarter, what was the thoughts going through your mind?
Well, we know that's going to happen.
Okay.
Like I said, because our kids' minds all over the place and parents and and aunts and uncles and people yelling, and we had a great, pretty good crowd that night, and people were enthusiastic, and they were, so that's kind of expected. So the best thing we can try to do is keep them controlled and keep them in tuned and try to keep them focused.
And somewhere between the first and second quarter that happened.
Yes.
30 points in the second quarter. Defense locks them down, only scores 9 points again as far as the opposing team scoring 9 points. And you go to that locker room with a commanding 44-18 lead.
Right.
And I know again, and it's not necessarily just coaches talk. It's a philosophy that you all have. Like you go in a locker room at halftime and it's like, hey, the score's 0-0. But when they come back out and they see that score, 44-18, there's always that question of, okay, are they really going to play their hardest here? And they did.
They did. Because at halftime we reiterated that we had not played our best. We kind of said to our team probably one of the worst halves we've had this year. And so we try to encourage them to get tuned in and to play Humboldt basketball, and knowing that the first 5 minutes of the second half is very important. You either can go up or you can get lulled and fall asleep, and the game can get tighter. But we came out and we did an excellent job of hitting it and moving it forward.
And, it seemed like the second half rebounding was better. Was that kind of a key point there at halftime?
Yeah, it was. It was because they out-rebounded us.
I believe they did in the first half.
It was close.
Yeah.
It's closer than it should have been.
Sure.
And, of course, we reiterated that at halftime. And, of course, we came out and did a lot better job.
Oh, yeah. Third quarter, 28 points. Fourth quarter, 30 points. And you only allow 11 for, so 15 points total in that second half. Now, again, some people, if you don't follow Humboldt basketball, you're going to see a score 102-33. And it looked like I saw a comment again on social media. It's like, well, I hope they played their backups. They did. They did. That was the thing. You had a freshman come off the bench, Jaden Champion.
Yes.
30 points.
30 points.
That's unheard of.
Off the bench.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Off the bench. Cavante Wedley had 15, I believe.
Yes.
Off the bench.
Yes.
Okay, so, again, it just also shows you the magnitude of people's comments, and they'll make a comment and not know what the logistics are.
Yeah.
Because you had two people off the bench that scored, 45 points?
Yeah, you had 27 points for Jaden Champion, 15 for Cavante Wedley. And then your starters, Darian Taylor with 19, Kendrick Taylor with 10, Jeffrey Patterson with 8. I mean,
Right.
The starters played great, but the bench came in and outscored them almost.
Yes, they did, almost. Anytime you can get your freshmen who can come in and score 27, 30 points, then, you're doing something right. But, no, we were happy and we were pleased with our bench players.
All right, so we're going to get personal here because I get to sit right next to the coach's bench when I get to call games here. And I'm sitting on the court side, and I look up and I see 102-33. And then I look over, and everybody's gone, and you're still just sitting there. What's going through your mind?
That is a secret, but I'll let it be open, because what actually happened was the score was we had 99 points, and we got the steal.
Yeah.
And Jaden Champion got the steal.
Yes.
And we had a wide open lane to the basket.
Oh.
He stopped and shot that 3-pointer. I was like, did he really do that?
Yeah.
But it was all erased because he hit it.
Yes.
So I'm just sitting there just contemplating and taking it all in, saying, okay, do I fuss or do I let it go? And that's basically what happened.
Okay, there you go. I knew because it caught me off guard, because normally, like, you're up, you're first one, you shake hands with the coach, you're out, and you're just sitting there, and I was like, uh-oh, wait a minute, did I miss something? What happened?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's funny.
But he hit it.
Yeah.
So then I didn't have anything to say.
Yeah. That's one of those. Yeah, he had a great night, and he's a good kid. And I wrote in the newspaper article that's coming out probably, let's see, this is airing on Monday night, so it'll be in newsstands on Tuesday night, in people's mailbox by Wednesday if you live here in the city of Humboldt. Yeah. I made the statement, he's a rising star. Yeah. And really, man, the ceiling with that kid.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a rising star, because he's definitely the biggest thing with him, and as coaches we joke with him, is his transition from middle school to high school. In middle school, he was pretty strong, pretty physical. But now in high school, it's a little different. He's not the strongest one. Mm-hmm. He's not the most physical one. So he's had to adjust to that. But he's done pretty good. He's done well. and adjusting. And, of course, he's only a freshman.
That's right.
So you have to realize on a good team.
And we're going to get to talk about that freshman league in a minute because Coach Adrian Ingram's about to sit down with us. And, you know, he's not a stranger to the program. Got to join us last year. But I'll kind of let you introduce Coach Ingram here as we start that transition.
Okay, well, Adrian Ingram has been with us for 10 years. A part of our program that without him we wouldn't be where we are. You know, when he actually started out as a 7th and 8th grade coach. And then he moved to freshman coach, and, of course, now he's the varsity assistant. And we kind of look at him as our administrative arm.
Okay.
He's in charge of scheduling, uniforms, equipment, game day protocol, and does an excellent job. And this is his 10th year with us.
Wow.
And does a tremendous job and a very invaluable piece of our coaching staff and our program.
That's one of those coaches, too, that you try to keep hidden at some point because you're worried somebody's going to come and snatch them away.
Yes, he is. And he is a tremendous asset. And,
yes, sir.
Again, it's just a part of our loyalty and a part of our program, and it does an excellent job.
Fantastic. Coach Ingram's going to join us coming up next, and then we're going to have Coach Abernathy sit back down with us, and we're going to look ahead. And I'll tell you what, Coach, let's go ahead and do 3 games because you have 3 games on the schedule.
Right.
And when we do this program next week, you'll have a game that night.
Right.
So we'll want to make sure and go ahead and highlight that game today, and then next week we may talk some different things because, you know, you'll be at the end of the regular season. We should know what the district is looking like. We've took care of business so far, so that last game might not play in as heavy as maybe what it has in previous years.
We would like for it not to. We'd like to take care of that business early.
That's right. Because Bradford and Middleton seem like they do better at the end of the year.
Yeah, they do.
That's what good teams do.
And
you
that's
get
what
better.
good teams do. They got both both are good programs.
Yes, sir.
2 good coaches, and so, you know, they always get better. As most teams with good coaches and good players, they get better at the end of the year.
So we'll talk about 3 games coming up after this. But right now we're going to sit down with Coach Adrian Ingram right here on Viking News On Demand, Inside Humboldt Basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy. Sitting down with a assistant coach and also head freshman coach. You take care of the freshman league. This is Coach Adrian Ingram with Humboldt Basketball, and we are in the podcast for Inside Humboldt Basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy, and he gives us access to these coaches, and we appreciate that so very much. First off, Coach, back to the program. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We have some freshmen to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
One of them obviously took the spotlight the other night. What did that do for you? Because you've been seeing it all year with Jaden.
Yeah, I've been seeing it all year. Every Saturday morning, that's what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Knocking down big shots for us, key points of the game. If it's a 3, could be some free throws or a nice little jump in the lane. He's been doing that.
So how do you compete in the freshman league? I'm looking at the roster right now, and I only show 2 true freshmen, Jaden Champion, Tylen Richmond. Am I missing somebody?
Oh, yeah. We got Zacchaeus Whiteside.
Okay.
Jalen Hampton, Kamarion Campbell.
Okay.
And DeAndre Emerson.
Okay.
They're the true freshmen we have.
Gotcha. Well, that true freshman league, they play at different times, and that league is already wrapped up. Why don't you let folks know how we did this year?
We finished the season 8-2.
Okay.
2 losses, one here at home to a good Westview team that outmanned us because they were a deeper team than we were.
Yes, sir.
Then the next one was we had played Crockett County 3 times.
Oh, wow.
On that 3rd time, they finally got us. But,
Yeah. Now, how does the freshman league work? You can't really get a championship, right? You just it's kind of more like exhibition games?
Well, you had exhibition games. You had to play 2 games each Saturday.
Okay.
Which it is a freshman tournament at the end of the season with freshmen only.
Oh.
And we didn't get in due to a couple kids being out sick and everything like that, so we opted out of it this season.
Yeah.
But you play 2 games, either you at home or at somebody else's gym.
Oh, okay.
So
Excellent.
Like I said, we're done pretty much before a lot of people get out of bed on Saturday morning.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my. Well, now you do more than just freshman league. We wanted to make sure we highlight that. But walk us through a game day with Coach Ingram, because you're one of the first people here normally because you're over the equipment and all of that. And if kids went in the gyms, I found out that if no other coach is here, you're the one usually that's here with them. Walk us through a game day.
Hey, on game day, like I tell them during the day, get yourself ready.
Yeah.
Because you come in to see me, Coach Butler, Coach Varner, Coach Brown, then up to Coach Abernathy, you got to be ready to play.
Yeah.
Come in, set out the uniforms, get everything, make sure everybody got the right equipment on. If it's a home game, of course, wearing white.
Yeah.
Make sure you got a white shirt, undershirt.
Yeah.
Tights, whatever. Away games, you wear your dark equipment up under your road uniform and everything like that.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's out ready for them. Get my managers. Make sure they got all towels.
Yeah.
Water bottles, all the equipment, clipboard, and all that, so you can ready to play.
Yeah, and and then you're also over scheduling. Now, are we in year 2 of this schedule? Because I know you have to redo the district every so often.
Right. This is year 2. It is year 2.
All right.
Of
so
this district schedule.
You're already, I'm sure, working on 26, 27?
Pretty much.
Yeah, because you have to kind of stay ahead, don't you?
Right, you got to.
Now, and we'll talk this a little more with Coach Ab here in just a moment, but we do have kind of the odd thing about a senior night being on a Monday night. You got Middleton coming in on Monday night, February 10th.
Right.
That's also senior night.
Right.
What goes into scheduling those special nights? Homecoming, obviously, is going to be the same weekend every year, but senior night, is that just usually your last home game?
Usually it is your last home game, regular season home game. But, we try to hopefully get it before a girls' game. Everything, all the festivities done before a girls' game, because it won't interrupt our routine.
Yes, sir.
As far as getting us ready to play our game.
Yeah, yeah. So, folks that are coming to that Monday night Middleton game, they should probably be here at least by 5:30.
Pretty much 5:30.
Yeah,
because
that gets to once the ball gets rolling there, it's a pretty full night.
Oh yes,
it's a full night. Now, not quite as bad as homecoming. But senior night comes with its own distractions. You had homecoming the other night, and you're kind of in charge of that, getting those pregame things ready. How much does that disrupt your normal schedule?
Like you said, we got a routine. We got, we go by before we play and everything. It interrupted it a little bit, but we finally picked it up mid-second quarter.
10 years here in Humboldt.
10.
Yeah. And, you've seen a lot of teams. And I don't want us to set the bar too high or too low, but in the 10 years, how special is this team that you're seeing this year? Because there's just something different.
It's different. It's a different team. Like I said, they're on the right track, almost a better track than the previous teams we had. And I think this is, like you say, this is a special team. This
team has gotten some experiences, too. There are some players on this team that were really young when we went to the Glass House.
Right.
And they remember that. They also remember last year going to Memphis and coming up just a little short.
That's right.
We would have been back again for a second year in a row. Come up just a little short. Do you hear the kids talk about that much?
Talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you still got you got 6 of them that went to state and junior high. Then those same 4 and 5 came back as they sophomores, went to the Glass House.
Yeah.
This team is hungry. Like I said, it's a special group.
It is a special group, and it's also a special coaching staff, that you have here, and I think that speaks to the testament of you being here 10 years. You have to love being here to be at one location that long, because a lot of that there's a coaching carousel.
Yeah, a lot of places it is like that, but here, like I said, the loyalty.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about here.
Yeah,
being loyal to each other.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking time for us, and good luck the rest of the season. Only 3 games left in the regular season, and then we get to what we started playing for.
That's right. We're ready.
Yeah, that's right. We'll sit back down here with Coach Abernathy in just a moment. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome Welcome back into Inside Humboldt Basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy, and we are at the part of the program now where we look ahead, every coach's dreaded thing to do because they're focused on one game at a time. But when you do a program once a week, we have to focus on 3 games this week, Coach. And your first one, you've already faced them. And actually, all 3 teams you've already faced them because we're wrapping up the district. Bradford. Always has that, specimen of a good basketball program. You know it's coming in. But you're going on the road this time. Last time we played them at home, and really we handled it really well, 72-46. How do you prepare these kids to go into that atmosphere? Because it's going to be an electric one.
Oh, yeah, it will be. And, of course, again, it'll be another test for us to go in and play Humboldt basketball. Don't mind Bradford. But go in and do what we've been doing, go in and do what we've been practiced, go in with the mindset that we are can wrap it up.
Yeah.
The number 1 seed for the district. And we go in there with intentions.
Sure.
Of playing well.
So you win at Bradford. You said you wrap up pretty much the number 1 seed.
Pretty much. We win at Bradford. That would give them 3 losses.
Wow.
We win at Bradford, and then Bradford still has to play Halls, and then Halls still has to play Middleton, so that would give them, pretty much knock them out of the number 1 seed.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Fight for the number 2 and 3 seeds. 2, 3, and 4 seeds.
Wow. So, yeah, that's definitely conversation going into that game. You want to lock that in. And going into the Bradford game, we were ranked number 2. They were ranked number 1.
Yes, sir.
And, that was the conversation going in is, hey, Humboldt's got something to prove. And you did.
Right.
You did. And you still have something to prove. We got to beat them twice. Got to beat them in their house.
Well, we number 1 this time, so you don't let them take it away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then you've got West Carroll coming. And I know that game got out of hand, 89-9. But, it was one of those situations where we had bench players in. Those depth players got to play.
Right.
This time it's going to be in your house.
Right.
And they travel well. Their fans seem like they travel well, so it should be a full gym. But you get 2 home games to wrap the season up.
Right.
And Darian seemed like he handled himself well that night.
Handled himself very, very well. You know, but of course the crowd was kind of pro Darian. They were cheering for him.
Yeah.
And when he made great plays, they were cheering for him. So the crowd was very positive for him.
And that speaks to the character of the young man.
Yes, it does.
That you can leave somewhere and they still like you.
Yes, it does. And that was the case with him.
Yeah. And he's always had family that's lived here in town. I want to make sure we mention that too.
Right.
It's not like he did that.
Yeah. Again, let's reiterate the fact that his mother, who's his legal guardian, has and always has and still does live in Humboldt.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
He just happened to stay with a great grandmom, I believe.
Okay.
To go to West Carroll.
Yeah.
But his mom, his legal guardian, lives here in Humboldt.
So that's going to be a fun game. That's coming up on Friday night.
Right.
And then 1 week from tonight, a big game, no matter how you draw it up. I know, we really played well against Middleton the first time we played them. And that wasn't that long ago. It was in their house. Right. And we ended up pulling out a 63-36 win.
Right.
And I think me and you both agreed. We didn't expect it to be that big of a point margin.
Right. No.
What went so right in that game?
Well, again, I think we were in that mindset. We were in that groove where we are playing and doing the things that we've been working on.
Yeah.
And we executed well. And, of course, it starts on the defensive end.
Right.
Where we play great defense. And, of course, it makes us look and get easy offense.
Yeah.
Which is what we did for that game. And, was able to play well because the key is at Middleton.
Yeah.
And now it's at Humboldt.
Yeah.
I'll take the at Humboldt.
And it's senior night. It's going to be rowdy.
Yeah, it's going to be rowdy.
Those fans are going to be here ready.
Yeah, they will be. Yes.
That's going to be fun. Now, you talk about defense. Yeah, you held them to 13 points in the whole second half.
Right.
And really, it wasn't like the game the other night where, you had Jaden Champion come out and score 30 points. I'm looking at the score sheet, Coach, and, it's pretty even. Darian had 18. Kendrick had 12. Jeffrey had 10. Cavante had 8. Tobias Bell had 6. You didn't really have that big boost from one player. It was a good, cohesive team effort.
Right. And it's because off the defensive end, we played pretty good defense. And the other thing I like that we're doing right now, that we're doing better, is we're sharing the ball very well.
Yes.
And even though, especially even on our three-point shots that we take, we get it off the offense. And when the passes come, it's coming hard, it's coming in rhythm, and we're making good shots.
Yeah, you say that. Jaden Champion the other night, even having the kind of night he was having in that big game versus Clarksburg, he drove into the basket, and the guy that was helping me, Alex, that was helping me call the game, he made the statement that night. He said he drove to the basket, he's got the hot hand, but he sees a wide-open Cavante Wedley and dished it off.
Right.
Just the selfless play of this team. And
Right.
that's going to go a long ways as you go deeper in that tournament.
Oh, yeah, no question about that, because that's key.
Yeah.
That's key, is being able to share the ball and give assists.
Well, it's been a great year so far. I hope, tomorrow night we can go in there, finish that, stay number one, and then we'll join again on Monday. It might be a little smaller program because we won't really be highlighting Monday night's game as much as talking about here's where we are. This is what it looks like to get to the Glass House. This is obviously the road map. And we may even talk some teams. Maybe go ahead and start. I know you've already started your homework on who you might have to see later on, and maybe we pick 3 or 4 of those teams. We know there's going to be some teams out of Memphis that are going to be standing there wanting to keep us out of Murfreesboro. Maybe we start talking some of those things about how the road looks to get to Murfreesboro, because people are ready. They're about ready to start printing shirts, Coach. They did it last time.
I know.
This fan base is hungry to get back there, and so are the players.
Yeah, and we've had a great year. We're sitting here at 19-5. It's been a great year.
Wow.
A great year.
Wow. And looking back as a coaching staff, I know you look at your schedule and you say, we schedule these hard games early. Is your tone different if you come out of those games losing some games that you thought you were going to lose? Because, you won some games you really –
Yeah.
I don't know, looking from the outside in, I thought you were going to win them. Let me be honest with you.
Well, actually, there was only 1 or 2 of those games that we did not have a chance to win. I thought Jackson County was one.
Yeah.
And the other one was MUS.
Yes.
Which was the only 2. But and even in those 2, even with MUS, we had an opportunity to be competitive and win the game.
Yeah.
Jackson County is about the only team that we played that we seemed to be out of it. Outmanned.
Is there a scenario that they come back into play? They're from out of state, aren't they?
Yeah, but no. Jackson County.
Jackson County was here.
They was here. They're 2A.
Okay, I was thinking about that Kentucky team.
The team from Alabama.
Red Bay.
Red Bay.
Yeah.
But now they double A, so
okay.
we wouldn't see Red Bay. We wouldn't see Jackson County anymore.
Okay.
But that was about the only game I thought that we were kind of, because we took our starters out probably the third quarter and played out the player, because that was also earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Early in the year. But we've come a long ways from that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like this team has adjusted also to how refs are calling games?
Yeah, I think we have. Our intentions, and we tell our players, don't worry about the referees.
Yes.
And we kind of have not focused on the referees.
Sure.
We've kind of focused on our team and playing, and I'll ask for an explanation.
Yeah.
But other than that, we kind of don't focus on the officials.
And the only reason I say that is because early in the year, there was a lot more foul trouble than later in the year.
Right.
Is that just, more coaching and practice saying, look, if you do this, they're calling that right now.
Right. Oh, yeah. And we're making an effort an extra effort to play great team defense with our feet and not our hands, for position.
Yep.
Anticipation, helping. We're doing a lot better job of that now than we did in the beginning, but that comes with the time of the year.
Yeah. You're talking about using your feet, obviously cutting off lanes. That's huge. What else is that?
Cutting off the lane, jumping the ball. And when you're helping, you can see on the other side, because when we trap someone, you can see the ball coming. So it's jumping that lane, jumping that ball. That's how you get the steals. Okay?
There you go.
And then once we, pick the ball up, once the other team picks the ball up, you deny your man the ball. And that causes the 10-second or 5-second calls, which we're doing a better job of defending that.
We're winning the turnover ratio pretty much every game, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, we are.
Well, Coach, is there anything we haven't covered today that you have on your mind that we need to cover? Because I think we've finished out the regular season games and we've recapped the last week, but I may have missed something here.
Nope, we're good.
All right.
Ready to play Bradford.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on to that number one spot. Thank you so much for tuning in today, folks. Inside Humboldt Basketball every Monday night with head coach Ronald Abernathy. We do it all through the regular season. When we get into the postseason, we're going to have to talk because we have to find out those games get played at odd times. And so we have to figure out what day works, and it might be we have to go to every couple of weeks or something. We'll see. Right. But we want to keep you updated. We know there's people watching from all over, and I always have to share that link with you so you can text that out. Yes. And but I appreciate you making the time.
We actually got folks in Maryland, and Tampa, Florida, Kentucky, Washington, D.C., actually looking at our inside Humboldt basketball.
Also next week, be prepared because you've got quite a few seniors on this team.
That we do.
We'll be talking also a little bit about what does the next level look for them. Right. Because obviously you're hearing from scouts. We can't necessarily name the teams necessarily that are looking at your players, but you should have some guys signing to go to the next level. Right. And so we may talk about how do you as a coach prepare them for that process because it's different now.
Tremendously. The landscape is totally changed.
Yeah, we was talking about that last week. About, coaching at the next level now is just totally changed, and the NILs and all of that kind of stuff. We'll talk maybe some of that next week because we'll have already went through some of these games and we should know where we're sitting. All right. Thanks for watching tonight, folks. God bless you, and we'll be back next Monday night. More of Inside Humboldt Basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy.